What's up, everybody? It's Nick from Whodat Travel. Now I'm going to do a video like I don't normally do, which is the talking head video. I love showing you the beautiful places that we're at and Disney and everything else. But at this point, this is a video, unlike a little bit of other ones. It's actually me talking about the not so glamorous parts of planning travel. We've been having a little bit of problem with our booking that we are doing for Cancun, or actually Playa Mujeres, Mexico. Now, we decided that we were going to do this just 2 weeks ago, so it was a last minute travel. Now, normally for our luxury vacations, we go through a travel agent. We absolutely love her. If you want to know more about her, ask me in the comments below, and I will more than happy to give you the information. But what she told us is because we were going to the Excellence group, is what we had decided, which we had gone with her before in November of 19. We went to the Excellence Club in Playa Mujeres with some friends. We loved it. Actually, that's when the wife kind of figured out that little man was on his way. She didn't feel well the entire trip and kind of feels like she was gypped. So we wanted to go back, and we found that they had a family all-inclusive, which, if you've looked, is kind of hard to find. Most all-inclusives are just geared toward couples only, adults area. So finding an all-inclusive that would include a child was great. And the fact that we had been with them before, even better. So we decided to just book it on our own. I went to the website. I did have some problems on the website. I made sure that I put in 2 adults and 1 child, or actually 1 infant, because he is under 3. They consider him an infant, and we don't have to pay for him, which, hey, great. But I went through and booked, and we did some changing of our flights because we used points. So we were trying to find the best use of points and also the amount of money. We ended up booking 6 days, 5 nights, I think it was, or no, it was 6 nights for, I think it was $100 and about 120,000 miles through United. So we had our flights all taken care of. And so I had to add 1 additional day to my search for Finest, which I did. And then I booked, and I know that I had 2 adults and 1 infant. When I booked, it removed the infant with my receipts back. I got the emails, and I looked, and I emailed them immediately saying, hey, listen, you removed my infant, but I did notice that we were booked on club level and in the Excellence area, which is adults only. So that concerned me a little bit. Well, I emailed them and said, hey, we've got this issue. Never heard anything back. So 2.5 days, 3 days later, I decide I will call them and make sure. You know, I always want to make sure that everything's taken care of ahead of time, because if I get there and then I have problems, well, usually it's a little bit harder to deal with than if I deal with them beforehand. So I make the call, and I spend an hour on hold. I do it because I don't want to have issues when I get there. That's the experience talking. So I spend an hour, and the guy that answered the phone is very kind of gruff with me and tells me, well, we can add him, but we're going to have to cancel your reservation and then add a new one with him. We just can't add on. And I said, no, wait a minute. I booked with you guys. I booked through your website. He goes, well, you didn't call us, so it's different. Not sure how it's different, because I'm calling the number that is on my reservation from the website that I booked through, but he tells me it's different. So he also tells me that it might be more expensive because the promotion that I booked under has expired now. Now, remind you, I emailed immediately. So if they would have emailed me back, this would have been taken care of. They didn't. I've now called. I did the due diligence and called later, and this guy is kind of berating me because I didn't add my son. Trust me, I know I added my son. I don't forget about him. Trust me, you can't forget about him. So we go through all of this, and he finally comes back and says, you know what? Talk to my manager. I'll just add it in the comment section that you have a 2-year-old coming. Now, again, I still have the Excellence Club level, which is the adults only area. So he says it's fine. We go on. So fast forward 3 days. I think we're all set. I get a call on Saturday, the 16th, the day before Easter. And he calls me and says, this is the gentleman that you spoke to the other night. You are booked in an all adults area. We can't have your baby there. I'm like, well, he's 2. He's not a baby, but okay, whatever. We can't have him there. So he tells me that the only room they have available is the suite with the family suite, and it is no longer a swim up. Now, the swim up was one of the big things for us. Our little man loves water. We were looking forward to being able to go outside, just use the pool, and not have the whole event of packing everything, going to a pool, and then, coming back. We could just walk outside. They had, stuff for us to sit on. They had a hammock for him to play in and us to lay in, and he could just have his swimmies on and play. And we were so looking forward to that. They tell us that the family suite does not have a swim up, and there is no swim ups. But if we continue to look for one, we can look for one for the next 3 days, and then book that. But yet the room that we are booking is not available to cancel. We'll lose the entirety of the vacation because we've already paid for it. And he said the other thing is, well, if we wanted the room that we had booked, the Excellence one, we could just not bring our child. Again, that's the whole reason that we're going. We want to get out of here. We want to take our little guy out of the country for the first time. Because of the pandemic, we haven't been able to. So, we wanted to enjoy this trip at a place that we enjoyed the first time, or a chain that we enjoyed the first time, and go. So that kind of set us off. And then he tells us that the new room is going to be $250 more, and how would we like to pay for that? I'm like, so your group, your website deleted my child, didn't tell me about it. I found it and I called you, and now you're going to tell me that it's $250 more for a downgraded room. Yes, I get it that I've got a second room that has beds, but our little guy generally comes in and sleeps with us at night anyway. So really, on vacation, we just put him in the same beds as us because it's just easier for us. That's the way he sleeps anyway. So, we could start him in the room, but he's still going to end up in the bed with us anyway. So that's really not an upgrade to us. Actually, it's a downgrade because we've lost the pool and we're not really going to use that second room anyway. But that's the only room that's available. But we could keep looking to see if one comes available, but they can't do that for us. So now you've downgraded our room, you've told us that it was our fault, and you've charged us more money, but we can't get our money back because it's non-refundable. So overall, this is definitely a buyer's beware to me. We haven't had a good experience yet. I will continue to give you an update in a later video after we figure out what all happens here. We are still planning on going. We're going to make the best out of it, even though, these things have not gone as we planned. We're also not in a club level now, which means we lose the individual entrance. You get a different area to be able to sit personally rather than in the big entrance. You lose, I think there's 1 or 2 restaurants that we lose now that we don't get to go to. There's a private pool that we don't get to go to because we're not club level. We don't get the private beach because we're not club level. There's a lounge that we can't go to because we're not club level. There's a whole lot of things that we have actually lost because they have made this change. And I talked to the guy and I wanted his manager to call me. It's now been 2 days. He hasn't called me. The gentleman said that the manager was in a meeting on Saturday, which kind of find hard to believe, but he was in a meeting and couldn't talk to me. So now I've waited. I'm going to, we'll say, argue this while I'm being checked in, and at least try to get our club level back. That kind of disappoints me as well. Overall, this has just been a really not satisfying experience. The customer service hasn't been there that we got the first time, and overall, it's starting this vacation out on a bad foot. So we hope things turn around. I will tell you guys everything, of course, and show you the resort and everything else when we get there and after we get back and upload to YouTube. But really, this is a buyer beware, and make sure that you don't go through some of the same things that we do. been experienced, and that's why we started this channel, to help others, and that's what we're trying to do here. So with that being said, I hope everybody enjoys this video, even though it's a downer, and to be notified of new content, of course, hit subscribe, hit the like button, even though it's a bad subject, to help other people. And with that being said, thanks everybody, and we'll see you real soon. Bye everybody.